Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope you're all having a great day. It's been, I apologize. I'm slipping. You know, since I turned 60, I've had some shit that I've just kind of gotten wrong. And what happened was there were so many things that were happening. I was picking up my brother, getting down here to the Red Brick House, and so on. And I messed up on one of the videos. The video for Dak Prescott one actually was one that I messed up and said it was Jalen Carter who got his contract. So forgive me, I put out just the wrong stuff. But Dak Prescott, from what from my confidential source, some of you guys may know, says, this is news to me, and don't take it for sure that it is dead and over with. Okay? That's all I'm going to say on that one. So we'll see if that is, in fact, the case, that Dak Prescott is definitely getting separated, or excuse me. Whoops, there goes my camera. Okay. Nope, that's not where I want to be. Okay, I'm trying to play. Sorry, I'm playing with my camera here. Trying to do a little something. There we go. That's a little bit better. We don't need to see my belly, okay? So that's where we are. So I'm going to go ahead. We got Game Time Brian. We're going to be doing this thing together. And I got a little bit of beef with Game Time Brian. Him and I are on different sides of the fence here. And we're going to fight it out. We're going to fight it out. Never wish what somebody else has. Never wish what somebody else has. Dirty Sanchez, so dirty, love it. Rhonda, help me, Rhonda. Oh, I need to. Okay. Okay, so Game Time is still loading up on his shit right now. And where am I? Okay, there's that screen right there. So welcome, everybody. I see Thomas Garrett in the house. I see Dirty Sanchez. I see Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. The Angel of Darkness. What's up? Chris May in the house. Holly Pierce. What's going on? Welcome, everybody. And Game Time is getting his shit on. He's going live on his channel, so we're just waiting for him to finish getting his shit set up. And for some reason, my camera over here seems frosty. Okay. Thomas, we got all kinds of stuff that's going on. There's a rumor being said about me and the crew about something we did or were supposed to do, that Lamar Jackson is about to get paid $62 million a year extension, which is a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. So that's good news for Dak Prescott, because then he'll no longer be the highest paid and having to wear that. Okay, that's a little bit better. Still got my ugly face on it, but there we go. Okay. All right. I am set up. I am ready. David Miller. What's up, David Miller? How are you doing? Let me go ahead and unmute myself and get Game Time.
It's Isaac Ramirez is in the house.
Okay.
How is everybody? Hope all is well. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Xavier, what's up, brother? How are you?
Kidding.
Yes, we got you now. We got you now.
Yes, you got me now.
What's going on, man?
Same shit, different day, man. Different day. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I woke up to a bevy of text, and I'm actually happy we didn't give up 2-1s, but it seems like the Dallas Cowboys world is happening.
Wait, hold on. You know what? I got to beef with you now, man. I got to beef with you because I swear you and Walker Wade were trying to convince me that we got to get him at all cost.
No, it wasn't the case.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive. I said I would have given 12 and next year's 2, and we still don't know for sure whether they ever offered 12. We know they offered a 1 and a 2 next year. Again, I was always in on
possibly that Osa and Digazua was in that mix. I heard that.
I don't believe that.
Okay. Well, the question then is, let's see, here's the thing.
But I mean, it could be.
Here's my thing. There's so much misinformation that's out here right now on everything. We don't know what to believe. Now, I was saying that to you that I heard, or there's it looks like Lamar Jackson is getting $62 million a year extension.
Right.
Which is good news for Dak Prescott, who maybe could use some good news with the situation where we're hearing rumors from TMZ that the wedding is off. But here's what I'd say, because the person that I talked to said that there was 4 events that were planned, that the wedding was going to be in Italy. It's going to be a big affair, and a lot of money was spent. My whole thing, I got Martin. Hang on 1 second. This might be important. Hold on. Yes.
Hey, Mark, how you doing, man?
I'm on live at the moment. What's up?
I'm so sorry.
No, what's up?
I wanted to ask you, I just got out of work. I just got off work right now, and I just turned my phone on. They said that Dak and Daryl split up, man.
Yep, they did. They did. Although I talked to his uncle, and it's not confirmed. It's not confirmed by the family.
Okay, I was like, damn, I just got out the warehouse and saw that. I was like, what? That's the one Mark know that.
Yep. I've already got videos up on it. Okay, no problem. Bye. Okay. All right.
You had to have him back. It wasn't this is an addition to the
I'm sorry.
team.
That was
this
one
was
of the
part of the core. We heard a lot of rumors swirling about possibly trading Jalen Carter.
Yeah, there we go.
I muted you, Mark. I muted you.
Oh, you muted me. Okay, I muted.
You were on the phone, so I muted you.
Okay, actually, you know what? I thought I muted myself. Shit, I thought I muted myself on my channel, but okay, you're right. I didn't mute it on there.
Yeah.
Dirty Sanchez, how do you think Jalen Carter was taking it after finding out he was on the trading block for Max Crosby? Shout out to Dirty Sanchez, because that was going to bring me to the next question. Because here's the thing, when you start hearing rumors that, you might have been on part of a package deal that you were offered, does that make you start to think, wait a minute, that I could be traded, or are they done not trading me? Could I still be traded? And that goes for Jalen Carter, and that could go for Osa.
Also, this is where a lot of stuff, we'll go with stuff, right? Or shit. Shit's fine. A lot of shit gets thrown up against the wall.
Hey, Cowboys.
Sometimes, inside, outside, sometimes team driven, just to throw it out there, whatever. We don't know what's true. This is why we're talking to everybody. What is true is that all across all platforms that were talking Jalen Carter, was possibly going to get moved. Mm-hmm. We're not making that up. That was all across, what is also all across is A.J. Brown was given a 48-hour window, and he'll probably be bye-byes. I'm on the I hope he stays wagon, because, I don't know about you, Mark, but I'd rather have the problem stay. We've been there before. What scares me is how he gets extra picks and what he can do.
Let's back up here for a second. If they lose A.J. Brown, see, here's the situation I will say right now is, and people don't seem to understand, they're like, oh, we can just replace George Pickens. That's easier said than done. But what you don't realize is, what does George Pickens do to help elevate everybody else?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Running game, especially.
The running game, especially. Yeah. That's where Javonte Williams is like, yo, we need to keep him, because you can't put 8 men in the box having those 2 guys that can go outside. It makes Ryan Fenoy, like Cedric Wilson. It helps everybody on the field, including Dak Prescott, even your offensive line, because they're not getting 8 men in the box that they got to block.
Farm Boy with the super chat. Good evening, Game Time and Mark. Hope everything's good with y'all. Mark
Everything's
Huston,
great.
I hope we're doing good. Again, we're seeing a lot of crap out there. We don't know what's true. We heard Osa may have been part of the package, yet there was no player with the 2 number ones. Maybe that was, yeah, I mean, I don't know. The bottom line is the Ravens did the right thing. I mean, the Raiders did the right thing.
Oh,
I believe the
definitely.
Ravens, that was kind of a mistake on their part.
I don't know.
My opinion.
I don't know that's going to be the thing that turns that whole defense around.
No, exactly. And it would not have been the end all be all for us either.
Well,
It would have been nice.
back to the AJ Brown. Where do you see them being able to
Linda
get
Conyers,
somebody
that
to replace AJ Brown? Because in the same way we look at George Pickens helps everybody else out there. I know they don't pass that much, but that's a big hole.
AJ's a beast. I don't know
He's
what
a
his
beast.
problem is.
And so the question is if it's just Devontae Smith and you have another guy, let's say you had a Noah Brown, is he going to be as effective?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Linda Conyers,
that's
so
a
happy
major
for
loss.
Jordan Davis. He is the epitome of a Philadelphia Eagle. Developmental process reminds me of Brandon Graham. Linda, and I
He's a great
expected
player.
him back. So I wasn't trying to be like trollish, but I was surprised that anybody thought he wasn't going to be here.
Well, the contract, at the moment, everybody's surprised. Oh my God, it's $25 million. Yeah, but guess what? That number is. We're going to look at this next year and say, "Damn, that was a bargain." In the same way, when Max Crosby became the highest paid last year, you remember, Max Crosby was the highest paid at $35 million. Everybody, oh my God, he got $35 million. That looks like chump change right now.
Momo, Washington rumor to get Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker. I heard that they might be interested in Brandon Ayuk as well.
Well, again, I don't know what's up and over the cap. Their cap numbers are all
Over the place.
wrong. It's like Dallas is in the negative again, unless after the 2 official tags, they're in the negative again until they flip switches. I don't know. Farm Boy, what's up? I would not mind getting rid of Osa. I don't believe he will work out in the new system. Yeah, we could talk about that.
The tenders weren't put in yet, and so if they're in the negative, that's the reason why.
It makes no sense to me.
Well, I'm seeing Dallas Cowboys with $200,000.
Okay.
And that would be because the
the
tenders are put in there. So, they hadn't finished flipping all of the triggers yet
No,
because
they
we
can-
still have Osa at 20. We still have Terrence Steele at 18. We still have.
What did we
Ron Blanc,
say,
17.
Mark? By tomorrow, they said normally 24 hours before free agency. So by noon tomorrow, we should know something. By tomorrow night, for sure, we'll definitely know who's staying. I mean, we got trades going as we speak now. The trades are going hot and heavy around the league.
Well, we also have Brandon Aubrey's 5.7. See, this is where it behooves the Cowboys to go ahead and get his deal done because that tender is a hard number. If they end up giving him, $8 million a year, his cap number will probably be half of that. Because,
3, right?
Yeah, and the same thing with
4.
We've got the tender for Bass. So those 2 hit. So now we're down to $200,000. But there's other triggers that can be that will be flipped between
A
now
Quinnen
and
contract, a Kenny Clark contract will give upwards of $50 million, not counting Osa.
Well, here's where Jordan Davis affects us too, because people were saying, well, Kenny Clark will give him a new deal and will reduce his APR down. But now you look at it and say, well, Jordan Davis just got $26 million. Yeah, I'm not going down too much because my money is valuable.
Right.
You didn't reset the market for interior defensive linemen. I'm sure every nose tackle out there is applauding Jordan Davis at this moment. Now, there is the San Francisco 49ers, the Bang Bang Niner gang. They've signed their kicker to an extension, I think $4.4 million per year. I had a 49er fan that sent me, I love it. He sent me a message that says, this is how you do it because they signed their kicker.
Right.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Well, we could get into that. And Drew says game time, Dallas moving different. I think not. Get your players signed. What's the holdup? Again, everybody's under contract, Drew. Nobody's due a contract. Again, it's easy. It's easy peasy.
So the 49ers kick. I'm sorry. It's not. It is 4.1 million or 4.2. He signed a 4-year, $17
Well, me and Mark differ.
extension.
That's why we got the yin and yang. I threw real quick up on the thumbnail, but we differ. Brandon Aubrey. Let's talk about it. Brandon Aubrey. Just explain how that works. It's a second round
Tender,
non-exclusive, right?
Right. So if somebody can, they can negotiate with him right now.
Yeah, Pickens. You're right, Drew. Pickens.
Okay, they can negotiate with him, and if they come up with a contract that is agreeable to him, it then goes to the Cowboys to, match it, and then of course he's theirs, or take a second round pick.
Right.
Now, you and I differ. You're like, man, I'll take a second round pick, man, and we're good. But for me, he is a game changer. When we had money,
it's not so much I want the second round pick, but
but the thing is, look, all you got to say is if we can get to the 45-yard line,
that's the problem.
we can get to the 45-yard line. We at least got some points.
Though. But that's the problem, though.
How's that a problem?
Because we got an offense who's in the back of their mind, they know they got 3 points, so they're going to be less aggressive to actually put up touchdowns, which is what's the difference in the league, in my opinion. I love Brandon Aubrey. I can't believe you're making me go against my guy. But if somebody signs him to a second round tender, I'll take the pick.
Keep in mind,
let me
nobody
know
has
the
ever
last
done
successful second round kicker that was drafted.
See, here's the thing. Nobody has ever done that in this. See, actually, let me get on my soapbox for the players.
Nobody.
Okay?
Nobody.
This is just another way for the NFL to screw the players. Okay? Because think about this.
Why is that?
The average NFL player's life expectancy is what, 3 years? 3 point something?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're drafted, we automatically got you for 4 years. Unless you're a first-round player, we have an option to hold you and pay you chump change for a 5th year. Mm-hmm. Oh, if you slip through the cracks and happen to become a baller, right? Like Dak Prescott, I'm assuming not Dak, like Tony Romo and all that, I can go ahead and hold you for an extra year at chump change. You see what I'm saying? So chances are most of these guys will never get a chance at the big contract because the NFL has so many different ways to keep you as an indentured servant that's getting millions of dollars, but far less than what you should if it were an open market.
Jesse Montanez, hey, Brian and Mark, you dodged a bullet. Pick 12th, get a second. Again,
there you go.
I want Aubrey back, and this doesn't stop us from getting Aubrey signed, just like, it doesn't stop us from signing Pickens. I think that'll be the last one to get done, right, Mark? You think that?
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be because, again, we know the market's going to keep going up. The sooner you get them paid, the better. The sooner you get it done, the better. Now, Rhonda says that she heard that Dak broke off the wedding. I'm going to say, here's what I'm going to say. I spoke with somebody who would definitely have direct knowledge, and he was caught off surprise. He was like, wait a minute, okay. And he said, if Dak had called it off, I would know about it. So what allegedly happened was, or what we're being reported by TMZ, and so don't quote me, okay, is they were having bachelorette party and a bachelor party and stuff and something like that. And something happened between the two of them, and that's where it finally got to the head. There was supposedly tension for some time, for some time, and it just finally got to the head like, do I really want to do this? Now, I'm going to be real with you. It is better to call off a wedding and have to say, man, I'm sorry, everybody, than it is to get married and then 2 years down the road after
You think there'd
living
be a
through
prenup,
hell,
wouldn't
then
you?
having to break up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but there'd be a prenup, don't you think?
I would think there should be.
There's a prenup, so it's all about the kids, and they have two. They have two together.
They have two
don't
together. Yeah.
So
Now, what drives me crazy
she getting
is
paid anyway.
I'm getting people saying, "Oh, he's the new Stephon Diggs." Now, I literally had a 49er fan saying, "Oh man, look at him. He's the new Stephon and Trayvon Diggs." I'm like, seriously, dude? Seriously? Okay. I've got other stuff, but I'm not putting it out there. So let's just leave it like it is, because that's Dak's baby's mother. And in the end, regardless of if they get married or not, for the rest of their lives, they will be tied together. And I look at a situation where creeping. I've been married twice. Me and my first wife didn't work out, but I'm thankful that I got married to her, because had I not, I would not have Michael and Michaela. So I'm forever thankful for that. I'm glad that we got divorced.
There it was. Glory hole.
There it was. Glory hole.
Whoa. Okay. Common state law.
We got 3 Super Bowl wins. Stop it, Drew. You troll maybe goblins.
Common law
Momo's
state,
in the
Texas.
house.
I don't know what common state law means. Tell me what that means, Harold.
I think if you're together a certain period of time, it's like common law marriage, like 7 years or something. You might as well be married.
Together. Yeah, they weren't. That wasn't that long.
No. He was at the strip club 7 years ago.
Right. There you go.
4 years ago, a weekend. No, I'm playing, everybody. But let's circle back. Let's circle the wagons, get on the football. We were talking about Brandon Aubrey, $5.8 million as of now. But just, Mark, that works is any team can sign him to a long-term deal. If Dallas can either match.
They got to give Dallas a second.
Or give Dallas a second. So when you make that deal, just know for sure. Now, Dallas is willing to make him the highest paid kicker. Please discuss that number.
Well, we don't know exactly. Okay, because that offer was
the
actually
highest paid kicker now is 6.1, I think, 6.1 million.
And they offered him somewhere short of $7 million last September, and the agent broke it off at that point. And
right
they had
before he
not
missed
talked to negotiated anything until the combine, contrary to what was being reported. It ended up being, like, surprise, that some of the shit was wrong. Sounds like she likes her girlfriends more than Dak. Don't know, laugh out loud. Well, she had posted some things that have disappeared about how, close her friends and stuff were. And you know how sometimes girlfriends are, girl, he ain't about shit. You know how some of y'all women are, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Girl.
Girl, it's true.
Because what it is they want your man. Okay, girl, you shouldn't be putting up with that shit like that. He ain't no good. And as soon as you're broken up, they over there trying to get that thing. You know how that works, right?
I got you.
So
I don't
know what happened, but what I was told is this may be jitters.
A little jitters.
It's jitters. Off. Runaway bride and all.
Mark Huston says, slow the roll game time. Aubrey's worth more than a second-round pick. I love Brandon Aubrey. I'm just telling you, what was the last second-round successful kicker that we've seen in the NFL? That's all I'm saying. I'm not dying to get a second-round pick. He's not going anywhere. Yeah, okay. So, long time. He's not going anywhere, Mark Huston. They'll match it unless it's $10 million a year, which makes no sense to me. You never know. There's a lot of funny money out there. Could you imagine if Washington Commandos, Momo's squad? Hey, it might be the Eagles. We'll take their second. It's a bottom of the round second. So
okay, here we have. This has just happened. Just 8 minutes. Man, this is like free agent frenzy right now. Teams are. It seems like we're getting more shit happening right now than usual.
Told you, they got 24
I don't even know
hours.
why we have a beginning of the league year. What are you kidding me? Okay,
well, everybody's trying to maneuver for free agency.
So
Mark.
Here's what we have. We've got the Green Bay Packers trade defensive tackle Kobe Wooden to the Colts for linebacker Zaire Franklin.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that happened. Okay, helping Indianapolis free up $4 million in cap space.
Why is that? Why do you think that is? Because they're linked to Trey Hendrickson because his ex-coach is there. Your boy Dallas is going to outbid everybody for Trigger Trey when I don't think they're going to get Trey Henderson. That's all. That's my thing. Dallas. What was the
keep
last
telling
bidding
you,
war
it's
Dallas
a
has ever won?
diversion. You don't go out there and put out
It's
there.
a diversion now.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, you don't go out there and put. Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna put all of our chips on the table. We're gonna go ahead and get. No, you don't do that. You put that out there as misinformation. It's kind of like in Desert Storm, man.
What you're saying,
they're talking about going beach landing and stuff, and instead they go through the desert. Nobody expected them to go through the desert, but you said you're going on the beach landing. No,
right. Yeah, I hope you're right, but again, I'm not I like Trey Hendrickson. I'm nothing against him. I like him because we didn't have to give up draft capital.
Oh, you mean what I said a couple days ago?
He's had back-to-back 17 and a half sacks years, Mark. I'm good with that, but it's going to cost you. It's going to cost.
I'd rather it cost me cash than cash and draft picks.
I get you, but we need to rely on our squad to do what they got to do. And to Drew's point, it's not like they're getting ahead of this and redoing these deals. What are we waiting on?
I don't know.
This is they are reactionary rather than proactive. Okay. They wait until the last minute. Do we know whether they're going to be on the yacht on Monday and Tuesday or what? Is there a yacht trip planned?
We don't know. And maybe that's why they're trying to get everything done here because they're getting ready to leave town.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So rumors are that Baltimore is trying to get A.J. Brown. I'm seeing this rumor right now. And
Baltimore's
Green Bay wants to get A.J. Brown, of course. These are just everybody's throwing their shit out here, clickbaiting. Yeah. And the Patriots trade offer to throw at A.J. Brown.
It's not a one, everybody. I was thinking maybe they'll give up 31. They're not. So it'll be interesting. I kind of hope they keep A.J. He's a great player, but there's always drama, it seems like. So I'm okay with them keeping him. It would be, it would be interesting
if they were to
get.
Okay, hypothetically, who are they going to replace him with?
Well, if you got to pick 31, you could potentially package 31. Hey, listen, you might be able to get Tyson out of Arizona State. Wide receiver who I really like.
Because the Eagles always draft great wide receivers.
Well, Jordan Tyson, Jalen Reagor did not have or Nelson Aguilar did not have the skills of Jordan Tyson, in my opinion. So Jordan Tyson could possibly be there at 23, or if they have to do a slight move up, or. Now's the time, right? You got other guys out there. You got the guy that I like out of the Colts who's going to get paid. He is going to get paid big time, the wide receiver for the Colts. So he would fit great with the Eagles. So that's why everybody's getting
Let me remind you of something here, okay? Because, the Eagles have failed miserably at wide receivers because they have gone through and not only drafted stiffs, but literally had the next pick, okay, end up being like Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf, and Devontae Adams.
Come on,
okay?
Justin Jefferson.
I don't want Justin Jefferson. He's ass. Right?
That was beautiful.
I'm just saying, the Eagles, they finally got it right with Devontae Smith, but, they had some tough sledding.
Because we gave him to him.
Okay.
Just looking at the free agent wide receivers out there, you got Mike Evans, Deebo Samuel still out there, right? You got Deebo, you got Philly Brown.
Look, Deebo's
Juwan
a 2-for-1, him and his baby.
Yeah, you got Juwan Jennings, Rashid Shaheed, the speedster. I don't know. There are some guys, Zay Jones, Wandell about ready to get paid for an average wide receiver. Alec Pierce, that's the guy I was talking about. 26-year-old Colts receiver. Alec Pierce, tall, runs great routes. Will go up and snatch it. That's who I would be looking at. Game time, I'll send you our drafts for the last 5 years. Talk about that. Nah, we're not talking about your drafts, brother.
Okay. DeMario has not gotten a new deal.
Who?
DeMario Davis has not gotten a new deal.
He hasn't gotten back to you yet?
Yeah, he's gotten back to me.
But he didn't say anything?
Yeah, I can't.
Come on, you gotta come on now. He's not talking to nobody. He sounds like you can't tamper yet.
I'm just saying, right now he hasn't gotten a new deal from New Orleans, so he's about to be a free agent. Cam Jordan, of course, was released.
Carl says we're getting Bradley Chubb. Let me look at Bradley Chubb. Bradley Chubb.
You know, it's funny how
29 years old. He turns 30 in June.
And he had 8.5 sacks last year.
11 the year before.
Sorry.
Or no, in 23 he had 11. He must have missed a year.
20. Yeah, we missed 24. I think did he have a knee injury?
I'm not big into Chubb. 12, 1, 7.5, 0, 5.5, 2.5, 11, 8.5. He gets hurt a lot. I'm not into Bradley Chubb. Sorry. That wouldn't be very good.
And you're into Jalen Phillips?
I said they like Jalen Phillips. You know how Dallas rolls. Dallas likes the guys that he liked in the draft. Go ahead, read off Jalen Phillips' numbers for the Birds.
Jalen Phillips only had 5 sacks last year, bro. I'm sorry.
I know he wasn't great.
I'm sorry.
But
Oh, no. He had 5 sacks last year. He had 5 sacks the year before. He had 1 sack the year before that. He had 6.5, 7, 8.5.
I know he's not great.
So I'm trying to see how that guy is supposed to command over $25 million.
He's going to get around 26, 27. Let me look. Let me pull up Spotrac here.
Wait, hold the fuck up here. In 5 years, he's had 28 sacks. You know that's only averaging like 5.25 a year.
I just said I know how Dallas rolls.
How if you're telling me that's what I'm getting?
You might. How about Cameron Jordan?
Cam Jordan, who had 10.5 sacks last year.
He's going to be 37 now.
Okay, and you know what? You know what? People in 2021 when I said go get Bobby Wagner, he's wise, he's a bum. Dude's probably got another 500 tackles since that time. Right? People told me Calais Campbell, he's too old. He only gets like 7 sacks a year when he left the Cardinals.
They're saying Jalen Phillips he may not get that. I don't know where Spotrac gets these numbers. They're saying his average value is a little over 17.3. He getting more than that. He getting over 20. You know he's getting over 20.
But do you think he's worth that?
You're worth what you can get paid. I'm
okay.
not giving him that money. That's why I was bringing it up. Dallas always likes circling back on guys they had liked coming out of college. There's a name. He's not sexy, everybody, but would fit really perfect. Funny enough, from the Baltimore Ravens, Kyle Van Noy would fit perfectly in a system that Dallas is going to run. Will be a hell of a lot cheaper. He'll be 35. He'll play at 35. But I mean, to add on to another guy that you get, are you surprised that Dallas is not just automatically bringing back Jadeveon Clowney? Are you surprised?
I'm surprised. You know, I think that was partially to give him an opportunity to go out there and test the market, because typically that's what the Cowboys would do. Let you go out there in free agency and see what you get, and say, come back with your offer and see what you got.
I think I'll make. It says 5.7. I think I'll make around, like 7.
You do know that he had 8.5 sacks last year without having a training camp.
Yeah,
and missing.
I know.
What did we sign him after week 3?
That's why I think I keep bringing up Hassan Reddick, who's been on a downward spiral, but he's another guy who fits perfectly in this new system. Maybe they go out and get a bunch of guys like that, but do not tell me that's called breaking the bank. Breaking the bank would be go get me Trey Hendrickson, go get me a starting middle green dot linebacker.
I see you and I see differently.
Yes.
Okay. I am one of those guys that
what's your break the bank?
I would say break the bank, but not on one guy. Get me don't give me just one great player. Get me like 4 really good ones. We have some, because the problem is, everybody talks about, well, Dak ain't nothing like Troy Aikman. I ask you, tell me where was the weakness of the Cowboys offense? during the 90s? What was I can't even make that call. Maybe Mark Spitnowski because he was only like 230.
Yeah, we didn't have much of a weakness. We only,
Okay, let me ask you this.
It's not like we had a great offensive line. We only had one guy who was in the Hall of Fame, right? They were mediocre.
Okay, well, yeah, but you end up having a Hall of Fame running back, wide receiver, quarterback, and okay. Now let me ask you this.
I'm being funny there.
On the defense, you had superstars of Dion and Charles Haley. Charles Haley, who was a problem child. But I ask you, where were their weaknesses on that defense?
What do you mean?
Weakness. What was the weakness on that defense the Dallas Cowboys they had back in the 90s?
Their weakness?
Yeah.
I don't think they had a weakness.
Thank you. Okay, let me ask you this. Where's the weaknesses on the Dallas Cowboys offense, which was number one this past year? This is pretty easy.
Defense.
No, on the offense. The Cowboys
offense. The weakness?
Tackles.
Yeah, okay. We still ran the ball seventh best in the league. Okay. Dak was the least hit a quarterback in the league.
I'm just saying, you can look at that and say the Cowboys, if I have to replace somebody, let me replace those two tackles. Tell me who you'd replace on the Cowboys offense.
You guys, let me just let everybody know. I understand what you're saying, Mark, but I'm telling you, the NFL is moving differently. These quarterbacks get the ball out way too fast. You don't need
I've got
the best
here's the thing. If I've got two really good pass rushers, two really good ones, they're taking half of the snaps. They're going to be fresher.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
So I'm taking their production and I'm putting it together. Now here, let me give you a little taste here of how it is when you go for the big swinging for the fence. Okay. Think about this. Micah Parsons is costing them on the cap $37 million this year. You know why? Yeah. Even with this contract, he's $19 million, 19 and some change. But because they made the move for him, they're taking a dead hit of $17 million for Kenny Clark. So $37 million of the money of their cap, over 10%, that's like 12%, is tied into one player who tore his ACL. And now, so are my next two first-round draft picks. Okay? So that's the real cost of Micah Parsons right now. Going into, before this trade, they had $4 million of cap space. So how do you improve the team? You got to let some other guys
Dallas was mid of the pack in the red zone. Not good. It's not bad either.
Well, that's where your tackles can make a difference.
Definitely need to get better, Drew. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Drew. And how was your team as far as scoring points?
I think they were in red zone. They were near the top of the league.
No, I'm just talking about in general scoring points.
When
they did make it to the red zone.
Bottom third.
How were they in the second half of games with their offense?
I don't know. Tell me.
They weren't good. They had some games where they literally did not. They had a game where they literally didn't make a yard in the second half.
Oh, I know. This is my thing, Mark.
Winston's 97. Thank you. Because you have to count for injuries. And that's why if you have, let's say you did have Bradley Chubb and Cam Jordan and Clowney.
Whoa. Breaking news, everybody.
What's the breaking news?
Sorry, Walker Wade. Khalil Mack stays with the Chargers on a 1-year deal.
And that may be one of those. And here's what I'm going to tell you. The reason why.
Here we go, everybody.
What happens is they look at this and say, Trey Hendrickson's about the only real upgrade that's out here for me. You could say Jalen Phillips might be, but it's going to pay a fortune. We're better off holding on to the guy that we have.
Who's that, Clowney?
No, I'm saying that's the Chargers mentality. Do we want to get into a bidding war and try and get Trey Hendrickson?
Yes. Stop being a pussy. Yes.
But I'm saying the Chargers. The reason why you decide we're going to go ahead and bring him back is I don't know that there's anybody out there that's going to be better out here in free agency that's going to help me.
Nike 365.
And he might give me a good deal because he's right here and doesn't want to move.
Do me a favor, Mark. Pull up Trey Hendrickson's numbers. Just pull him up.
Now
The dude is an absolute stud getting to the quarterback. Okay.
Wait. You know what? Screw you, Game Time. Because now you've done a 180 on Henderson.
No.
He was chopped liver, when you thought you were going to get
Nobody
Max
said he
Crosby.
was chopped liver.
You wouldn't even
I don't
mention
have
it.
faith.
We got to put in that first and that second round to get, Max Crosby.
Carl,
Now,
talk
hey,
some
we don't have to
sense
give
into
up
Joe
anything
Boo
to get
over
Trey.
here.
I said that shit.
Where's Joe Boo? Is he there or is he in?
Joe Boo is right here.
Yeah.
He's right there.
Talk some sense into him, little man.
Now,
talk some sense into him.
Now, I will say last year was not a good year for him. However,
but
here's what happened. Here's the reason why you need to make sure that George Pickens' ass is happy and in working out. Because almost to a man, everybody who held out got injured last year. Trey Hendrickson was one of those holdouts. Scary Terry was one of those holdouts. When guys hold out and have to start the season, they're not ready. CeeDee Lamb, when he held out, he was injured. Zeke Elliott, you got to get these guys in. So, you have to look at this and say, maybe that was more the exception than the rule for Trey Hendrickson, because 17 and a half sacks in 24.
Henderson doesn't even fit our scheme.
17 and a half.
It's a multiple.
In 23. He's had, listen to this. He had, in those 2 years, more sacks than Jalen Phillips has had in his career.
Thanks, Carl.
He had 8 the year before that, 14 before that, 13.5. That's pretty good. I know, settle down there a little bit, right?
No, I love it. This is my thing. Listen, we weren't ever going to do what the Ravens did, so it's moot at this point, Mark. But
Thomas Garrett,
we were told by you and others that
360.
Why Law Nation? I was in a stream. I was a part of the chat. Nothing but the best. He's like, why would you have to have, Max Crosby when you could get this production out of Trey Hendrickson? Because I know my team. We never win a bidding war when it's just money. My team does fairly good when they decide to trade. I think the Pickens trade was good, right? I think we all love the Micah trade, right? But I don't have faith. Now, some say he don't fit our scheme. Are you able to speak to that?
I actually, to our benefit, we don't really know what the scheme is going to be. We can look.
You never heard Moot Court, little Cowboys?
Here's the thing that I actually love, and I think it's going to be to our advantage, is you're going to get a little bit of everything. And Christian Parker said, we're going to be a 3-4, we're going to be a 4-3, we're going to be a 4-2 sometimes. In other words, you don't know what it is. Now, I will say, when you have great players, you find a way to use them.
USMC says Larry Brown was our weakness.
Now, what it may end up being, this is because I look at Trey Hendrickson and say he's a bigger guy. What if the Cowboys and the whole thing of Osundigizua, that they're willing to part with him to get rid of some of that contract and get some more picks, and they bring in a Trey Hendrickson, and Osa ends up helping to cover some of that money?
Twiz says he don't set the edge.
No, that's what I was saying before, that he's more of like a defensive tackle.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm just trying to. This is what your argument was the other day for not bringing in Crosby. It's in Trey we trust. Now, again, you need somebody that's not just Jadeveon Clowney and Donovan Ezeraku.
Oh, we have to do more than
somebody. That. So I need to know who you're bringing in to bring pressure off the edge. That's all. It's going to be somebody.
It could
Mark
be.
My words.
Hold on, though. But here's the other side of this. The Cowboys allegedly were willing to trade a first and a second-round pick.
Yes, allegedly.
Okay? So it may be that the person that they're trying to get or may not be a guy who's a free agent. They may look at this and say, you know what, we're not going to spend $35 million for Trey Hendrickson. We'd rather take that first-round pick and trade it for somebody who's established out there.
Right.
And not have to worry about that contract.
Yeah,
there's a lot you can do with the second round, and if you're talking about saying that A.J. Brown is only getting a second-round pick, you might be able to actually get some players with that. Instead of just saying we're spending all that capital on Max Crosby, maybe we're spending that capital on two really good players.
Right.
We don't know.
No, I'm okay with that. I just where I sit here today when we talk about being players, I have a feeling it's going to be a Nakobe Dean, a Jalen Thompson, and they're going to go into the draft. That's not enough for me right now.
See,
you need to.
You know what, Jerry? Yeah, I mean, Jerry. Jeez, game time.
Yes.
I hate to say this, but you're acting like Wade now. You're acting like a spoiled kid, and everything has to be the top of the line. Okay, you know.
Top of the line. Who's asking top of the line?
We got to have Max Crosby or Trey
mid-tier.
Henderson. You know, we go ahead and we get Nakobe Dean. That's some garbage, right?
Nobody said it's garbage.
But
he's always injured.
Look at what we have done in the past years when we've looked at bringing.
I agree with that.
You remember Anthony Barr?
The bar is down here, though, Mark.
Okay, Anthony Barr in training camp on one leg, coming back from an ACL.
We got him just a year too late.
Okay. Eric, although he played pretty good last year, we should have brought him back. But typically, we bring in scrubs, man. We bring in nobodies. We bring in guys. We bring in other people's trash.
Well, my thing to you is if they're in on Max Crosby, who are they? Who's their next guy? Mark, they're not just going to go from Max Crosby to bringing in Jadeveon Clowney and go, we're going to go draft. There's somebody out there that they're going to.
You could bring in Clowney and others.
Yes.
Okay.
Real quick, USMC, we can agree our coaching sucked so bad last year that now we have better coaching to develop these players. Clowney can get his 10 sacks full season. USMC, I assumed Clowney was coming back. Thank you.
Club
but
Downs? Nike?
The first thing we heard from was
Club Downs? Did I say it right? Club Downs?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Caleb Club, however you want to. Yeah.
Club Downs. Look, he said, "I'll super chat if I can say his name correctly." See why y'all have to make fun of me, man? Why is that? Why is it that I always? Why do I get so much hate from people? Game time.
Yeah. I don't know.
I like to think of myself as lovable.
You're a man of the people.
But yet, all I get is shit from people, man.
Rolando, what's up, brother? How are you? I swear, Holmes looks like Martin Gramatica. Damn, they're comparing you to a little kicker. You're losing weight big time.
A kicker, okay.
Martine. Jimbo says you never made the active roster for JMU.
No, I did make the travel squad. And in 1985, the first game I played was against it's the Oyster Bowl, which was played at Old Dominion University against the Richmond Spiders. And I'll be real with you, I only play special teams. I'm not trying. I never in my life said I was a star at JMU. What I can say is I was running track, and Coach Charlie Jones, who actually was on the Cowboys but got his wrist broken, was our defensive line coach, and he recruited me. He said, "Hey, I'd like you to play nose tackle." And I'm like, "Nose tackle?" He said, "With your speed and strength, we can do things with you." And I was a special teamer, and I played in a few games. That's all I've ever said. I've never said I was a star, okay? And Charles Haley would say that he played football. I was on the team. That's exactly what Charles will tell you. I was on the team. But Clowney, I'd bring back in a heartbeat if he fits the system. The production he had, he was 19th in the league last year in sacks.
Shout out to Linda Connors. Again, thank you so much for your support, Linda. Congratulations, Game Time Brian, for getting to 81,500 subscribers. Like I've been saying, the fastest growing Dallas Cowboy content creator on the net. Linda, thank you. And I could not have done it without the guy sitting here. Mark, how long's it been? It's been what, 4 years since we went to the.
Has it been? We
went to the. I don't know how long it's been actually since we went to the Hall of Fame. Maybe 3 years.
I think it was 3 years because 2 years ago I was at training camp, and I think it was the year before.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
I was trying to get to 300 subs and I got to 500. So thank you, Linda. A lot of live streams, a lot of people like you that, again, it's a different type of channel. I know. I don't sit here act like I know everything, and I see other people's, and it's like, I'm sure Mark says Mark's one of the big boys, but, you know, it's like.
Don't talk about my weight.
No, I mean, you know, like you watch, like I was watching Law Nation, he has everything down to He's just a machine. How he has all the the bells and whistles. But I kind of like. Yeah, I kind of like this, where we're kind of just like the everyman. But thanks, Eagles Drew. Thank you. But yeah, thank you. And it was Mark. I met him at a tailgate picking up an item that wasn't mine. It was Roland Reviews.
Yeah.
and I don't know, something happened and we hooked up. He's like, "Oh, you should do a YouTube channel." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll see about that." And the next thing you know, that's what happened. So Ronald Tyke Oliver, what's up, my man? We are the Cowboys waiting. What are the Cowboys waiting for? Ronald, we got to hook up, brother. I know I said we were going to do a live stream, but the season happened and it became an absolute disaster towards the end of the year. But we'll definitely hook up. Ronald Tyke Oliver, as you see, Music Meets Sports. If you need anything done in the music and pretty much anything, he's the guy. Mark, Ron wants to know what we're going to do, man.
We're going to the draft.
Mark thinks we're getting a lot of bottom feeders.
I don't know what we're going to do. I was saying this morning that my original channel took off in 2016 because of Dak Prescott. And maybe I'm shaded and will always have a special place for Dak because that was the first video that really took off was about Dak Prescott. But I've been doing this originally on Facebook since about 2010, and I have never been into an off season that's been like this with the Cowboys. Typically, we haven't even signed any of our own free agents that we want to keep at this point. And the Joneses have already packed their bags. They're out of town and do absolutely positively nothing. The fact that we've already locked down Javonte Williams, that we've already franchise tagged, George Pickens, and he's not out here, saying F the Cowboys and everything else, right?
Yeah. I think a deal gets done.
We've decided that we're not going to hire, somebody that Jerry Jones, best friend or former coach, or just promote from within on the defensive side, and that they recognize that we have to do more than what we've done is like earth-shattering. I don't know if anything they do will work. There's no guarantees on any of this stuff. But at least I'm going to quote Leo, who a couple of years ago, he says, and I said, "Man, you guys are doing all this, that, and he said, "I like to see activity. I like to see that they're actually trying." And some of the times you can't look at it and say, "Are they really trying?"
This is why I'm worried, though, because
expectations are the building blocks of resentment.
I'm worried because they outwardly go after Max Crosby, but then, and this is what they always do, people, is they are smarter than anybody else in the room being Dallas. So I'm not being negative. In their mind, they know all, right? So, like I was telling, who was I telling? I guess I was telling Mark. I've been saying this a lot. To me, a true measure of a successful organization is maybe sometimes taking a step back, seeing what other organizations are doing. Sometimes, I know me as far as fashion, Mark, I'm always behind the trend. I will catch up to everybody in a year from now.
I'll never catch up. Okay.
And then I'll like it.
I still got a members only
I'll be
jacket.
In on the tail end. You know what I'm saying? You got the members only? You rocking the members only?
I'm kidding. I don't have one of those.
I had one.
Okay.
I had multiple. So, this is why I say when it comes to the Birds, I was a little alarmed when I heard that they were thinking about moving A.J. Brown yesterday because I'm like, wow, okay. So this is what they're going to do. They're going to move AJ for assets, right? Then they're going to use those assets to bring in Max Crosby, and it'll be a wash. And then they'll go out into free agency and add a receiver like an Alec Pierce. And then you'll have Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Max Crosby, Alec Pierce, Devontae Smith. That's what I expected them to do. And who knows, maybe that's what they were thinking.
Okay,
I don't think so.
So here's what we have at this moment right now for the
All right, breaking news. Oh, no.
Well, no, this is the Baltimore Ravens. They've got Max's contract hit of 30.69 cap number right now. Okay? They are currently $12.5 million over the cap, and they have to get cap room.
Right.
And we heard rumors that Lamar Jackson is going to get a new contract, $62 million a year. His cap number right now is $74 million. So when they do that, they'll create some more cap space that they're much needed. So they kind of have to do Lamar Jackson to get that cap room. Let me see if they have triggers on theirs. Let's see. They do have a $38 million trigger on Lamar. Rookon, they have 9. There is a $21 million trigger for Max Crosby. And Marlon Humphrey, there's a $13 million. Okay, so they can get other way.
We were talking earlier when I left work.
Rodney Stepaway, super chat. Mark, you're good when you start acting like Cleveland off the Cleveland show. Now, wait a minute here. Come on now. We're not Cleveland.
You know what really grinds my gears? Oh, sorry. I kind of think that Rodney Stepaway, what's up, brother? How you doing? Dan the man, what's up, brother? Dan's in the house. Carl, Mark, the best platform of your page. Let me see. Sorry. I got to remember to put this on slow. Mark, the best platform of your page is when the guys be at your home doing Cowboy games. Yeah, again.
I didn't do that much this year.
Again, there's a lot to that story, bro. Little Dallas Cowboys, what's up? Do you have a 16 Manning Cowboys jersey? I do not, but I would love Arch to groom for the future. Linda says, I love Dallas fans' predictions. They just age so bad. I hear you, Linda. I don't have much of a prediction. I need to see more leaves fall in the Jerry Jones vernacular. I need to see more leaves fall. Again, there are moves like Minkah Fitzpatrick. Everybody keep an eye out on Minkah being cut between now and the start of free agency. Mm-hmm. They're trying desperately to trade him as we speak. What would you be willing to give up for Minkah?
Weren't they talking about like a 5 and a 6?
I think a 4. Unfortunately,
no news on Henderson because he's a free agent. You can't technically talk to him until Monday at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
This stuff is so confusing for a lot of people. So, for example, the fact that
Cowboy?
Tyler Biadasz has now got a contract, it's kind of like, well, how come he got a contract and all these other guys got to wait till free agents because the team actually cut him. He wasn't scheduled to be a free agent. And then you get all these trades.
The 20th from Minkah. Now, dude, there you go.
20th for Mika.
Let me finish.
The hell?
You trade Miami 20 and you get their 2nd and 3rd round pick.
Wait a minute, say it again.
You trade 20 to Minkah and you get their 2nd and 3rd round pick. I heard that a few weeks ago we talked about that. Think about that. Now you want yourself some Minkah, don't you?
I don't know that I want to.
You get a 2nd and a 3rd.
2nd, 3rd, and Minkah for the 1st?
For one of your twos.
Seems like I think I'd rather go ahead and just give him the 5th or the 4th and keep my 20. Why we get...
Well, if you could do that for a 4, I don't know that you could get him for a 4th.
Has anybody gotten him?
No.
Has anybody traded for him?
Bingo. That's actually a good... Okay. If it was so easy, Dan the man, why didn't...
Wait a minute. Hold on. So wait a minute. Nobody's offered shit for him, so I'm going to go ahead and take 20 and give me... what the hell?
I do understand that. For our desperate need to get a 2nd and a 3rd, we're willing to give up our 1st. Shit, this is a 1st we didn't think we were going to have.
Have you gotten hit with the stupid stick or something? What the fuck?
God, this is gonna be funny.
Hey, let's trade our 1st so we get a 2nd.
You don't have any
and 3rd.
dum-dum. You can't really hit me. You can throw a dum-dum at me, but no, I mean, I don't know. I feel like right now teams are scurrying to unload. Is there anybody that we're gonna unload before the start of free agency that we haven't? Is there anybody that you see? I think Malik Hooker is a gone, but I think they're going to do that after they draft somebody or actually sign somebody.
I think that you're right on that one, that they're going to look.
They're not going to do it now to tip their hand.
Well, here's what I think. Let's go through it right now. Actually, let me go ahead and pull up the Cowboys.
Pull it up.
Over the cap. Because there's players that you could look at and say, can we get an upgrade? And this is what I think I was saying to you, that let's say one of the premier offensive linemen are available. Do you look at this and say, maybe I should sign him, $20 million, right? And go ahead and get rid of Terrence Steele and say 14. So then we're saying we're upgrading a position for $6 million more. Follow me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so if we're looking
breaking-
at our list right now, Dak Prescott, who's part of the Lonely Hearts Club right now, George Pickens is not going to be it. Quentin Williams is not. Kenny Clark is not. Osa Odighizuwa, the problem with Osa Odighizuwa, I think if you trade him because he just got his deal, you're going to take a $32 million dead hit. Now, you can break that down over 2 years, but you're only saving $4 million this year. That doesn't make any sense. CeeDee Lamb, of course you wouldn't. But Terrence Steele, if you did cut Terrence Steele pre-June 1st, you save $9.3 million. If it's a post-June 1st, you save $14 on this year's. You get another $4 off of it next year. Deron Bland, you're not going to do anything with that. I don't even think you want to restructure that one because I'm worried about him longevity-wise. Jake Ferguson, you could take a $16 million dead hit. You're not going to do that. You'd rather restructure him. Malik Hooker, you could save almost $7 million.
Yes, that's why I said
Malik Hooker, $7 million just by cutting him. So between Terrence Steele and Hooker, you could get tomorrow $17 million. Or if you go ahead and get a deal done for George Pickens, you get another 19. TJ Bass 5.7 along with
now all right,
our kicker.
Let's talk about that for a second. You trade TJ Bass. I mean, you re-sign TJ. Now you throw away the tender. Is that what this is only for a period of time? Correct.
No, the tender. That's what they have to play on.
Trigger Mark Holmes. That's your new nickname, Linda.
No, the 5.7 is that's basically it's kind of like being franchise.
But I'm
tag.
saying it's
like a poor man's franchise tag.
But you can sign him, correct?
You can still sign him at any
and
point.
that goes away, correct?
Right?
Yeah.
Once you sign him, then nobody else can ever talk to him. But if there is no deal, then they're getting $5.7 million this year, and they're a free agent at the end of the year. It's basically the poor man's franchise tag.
Yeah. See, here's the interesting point. Everybody in the chat, everybody watching, we don't know exactly what Christian Parker desires as a defense. We know that most of their assets are going to be allotted for defense. Can we agree on that, Mark? Mm-hmm. Most of these assets are going to be defensively, right?
Right.
So we don't know exactly. We know he likes Dean, right? That's Football Fanatic. We know he likes Nakobe Dean. We know that's an obvious link. I'm thinking Jalen Thompson for Arizona. I know Ultra, I haven't seen him in the chat for a few days, but he brought him up, and we have ties to our coaching staff with him. He had an interception against us just last year. He's a good player, tall guy, rangy, outfield type. He's just a nice all-around player. Not great, better than Reed Blankenship. But there's Reed Blankenship. I just don't know the hidden gem that we're not talking about. There's going to be somebody. They're going to sign somebody that we're not talking about right now or make a move. And that's what's encouraging.
That they sign, and people are going to be like, who? Why are we signing that guy? He's a bum.
Right.
And they're going to end up being, somebody didn't. And we're going to have some guys that are on our roster that you didn't think were going to be shit that are going to come through and you're going to be like, wow, where did that guy come from?
Right.
It always happens because it may be some of these guys that are here now in a different system that suits to what they're doing, and the right coaching can change this. I had a person, and I can't remember who it was, last night when I was doing my live stream that said, coaches don't matter. And,
coaches matter in a big way.
If you think about the Dallas Cowboys of the 90s offensive line, they took Mark Tuinei from the defensive. He was a defensive tackle, made him an offensive tackle. You don't think coaching changed that guy? They took Nate Newton, who was fat and out of shape, and made him a great guard. They took Mark Spignowski, who was a guard, undersized, and made him a great center. They took Kevin Gogan, who was a tackle, struggling, and made him a great guard. So, and you looked at that, there were no first-round picks on that offensive line. They were all guys that were coached up. So coaching does matter.
Well, I want to just explain what defensive, specifically, Mark. This goes to some people in the chat named Drew. In 2020, defensive ranking the year before Dan Quinn arrived.
Oh, jeez. The second worst defense.
Points allowed. Well, it was the worst in the NFL. But in points allowed, it was 28th. Defensive total yards was 23rd, but they were last in the league in defense. Okay, and then the next year, do we want to know where we went in 2021? We ranked number 1 in the NFL in 2021, 22, and 23 in turnovers. The next year, okay, literally last to number 1 in turnovers for 3 straight years. Points allowed, we were ranked 7th, okay, and 5th in 22 and 23. Again, coaching definitely matters. Dan Quinn's defenses were top 10 all 3 years of he was with Dallas, Mark. Dan Quinn transformed the Dallas Cowboys defense from one of the worst in 2020 into a top 10 unit during all 3 of his seasons, from 2021
and the
through
big change was
2023.
getting Michael
So don't
Parsons.
tell me coaching don't matter. Stop it with the negative bullshit. The coaching does matter. And I just laid it out to you. Now, there's a process to this, right? Dan brought in his guys, right? He brought in a good Dante Fowler, right? He brought in guys.
Oh, shit. Okay. People,
What?
Oh shit! Oh shit!
okay, so Eagle fans are cashing checks right now. Foots had tweeted out some years ago, Mozzie Smith will be a better defensive tackle than Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter.
Yeah, there you go, Foots the King. Good job, buddy.
Ouch on that one.
Stick your foots in your mouth.
Damn.
Well, that's like Vach. I love Vach. Vach, we love you, brother. But, you were on that hill for Boss Man Fat, but, we all make mistakes, right? Everybody.
Okay,
Nobody's
so-
perfect. Come on, Jalen Rager, Nelson Aguilar. Come on. Everybody makes mistakes. Kid Cowboy, how bad's he talking about 50 years ago? Jimbo. 50 years ago.
Okay, so,
what are we talking about?
here's now, if you believe Ricky Scoops
Ricky Scoops.
says that the Eagles have let teams know that Jalen Carter is available.
Again, we talked about it. I don't know what's true, people. We're just reporting. We're reporting the news. Now, locally here in Philly and abroad, Adam Schefter and company, the rap sheet, they're saying AJ is on his way out. Eagles, Howie, they have the best guy in the league.
Ooh, okay. So per Ricky Johnson, defensive lineman Jalen Carter reportedly feels like he's handcuffed in Philadelphia. Maybe his ass should be handcuffed. Okay.
Damn.
Given his history, that might not be a metaphor he wants to lean on, but a change of scenery via trade is something he'd welcome.
You want to crown him? Then crown him.
Whoa. Look, trade him to Cleveland. Yeah, so that's where people are saying, how about we go ahead and trade Myles Garrett for Jalen Carter?
Well, what happened was that second game, we got our ass kicked.
Okay.
Dude, you're just bringing all good news for Eagle people.
Oh,
What's up,
you know,
D'Angelo?
I just like to
Mark
keep
said
coming.
Mozzie Smith would have a better career than Jordan Davis. I don't know that you ever say that. Did
No,
you
I
ever
didn't
say that?
I don't think I said that one.
You didn't even know who the hell Mozzie Smith was when we drafted him. You were like, Mozzie
I was
Smith.
just
You
happy
looked
that
at
we got,
DMV.
we got a defensive tackle. Yeah.
And DMV was like, nah, man, nah, that ain't right. And I was like, yeah, I had him in the second round. I don't know. And, I was thinking the guy Eagles got.
Okay.
The edge rusher.
You know what? I'm wondering. Okay. So
D'Angelo's, he's keeping receipts. He said, you definitely said that shit. This is beautiful. Mark said it numerous times.
don't act like that Adam Schefter doesn't get shit wrong. Okay.
U.S. Marine Corps said Mark butchered Stepnoski's name.
Oh no! Hey, tell a mud
You
fabricator. Yeah, actually, you know what? I hope she doesn't see that video.
I don't mess with Marines. Semper Fi, brother.
Because
Semper Fi.
you know what? I did a video and I said, I can't say, the whole situation with Dak. I said, all of them are crazy. You know that, right? All the wives are out there are crazy. Okay? And the question is which crazy one do you want to live with?
Football fanatics. This Carter got erased by our offensive line anyway.
Listen, sometimes with your wife, you kind of look and say, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't say it outwardly.
No, in your mind. In your mind.
Oh, yes.
On a daily basis.
On the daily.
You know what? I love my wife.
On the daily,
dearly,
but I would never.
Dearly. Because you know what? If you said some shit like that, I know what she'd say. You want to clean that shit up? Okay. That's like when you hear them say, wow. Go right
What's
ahead.
Up, Jesse?
Those are key words to know that you're fucked, okay? And not in a good way. But here's what I'm wondering. Hold on. Let's go back here with the Dak Prescott situation.
Elmer Fuss. Come on, man.
I'm wondering when so all of this, the final straw seems to be the Bachelor and the Bachelorette party was when it all came to a head. I wonder if
was
this
it strippers?
I don't know.
Did they have bachelorette party where the chicks, I don't
know. Look, bottom line is, I wonder if this was before the cancer event that was this week.
The dancing bear? Did the dancing bear make an appearance?
So
I don't know.
Because we've seen Dak, this past week. He seemed happy as could be and all. I'm wondering if this transpired
the calm
after
before the
that.
storm.
So that's the question that I want to know. That's the question I want to have answered.
Yeah, Linda, you know how it goes. She says there's no Dak situation. Leave that man personal life alone. Linda, unfortunately, the age we live in, everything is being talked about. Adrian know what I'm talking about. I know nothing about it. I know Mark is very close to the family. We'll just leave it at that. And, he hadn't heard nothing. So it's news to that. We'll just leave it that hopefully they work things out.
Yeah.
And, again, I wouldn't, for my UFC fans, I wouldn't categorize his girl as the girl from Ilya Topuria. Any UFC fans, he married a Miami-ite Mark and had children, and she just wigged out and wanted to go back to her Miami-ite ways. You know what I mean by that, like the basketball wives type situation. So they're getting a divorce. I hope that's not the system. Who knows? Rhonda Lovelace, it's the Eagles rabbits. LOL. But yeah, who knows? I don't know what's going on. Is what it is. Welcome to the real world, right, Mark?
Yep.
And shit happens. So Max Crosby wanted to be a Raider for life, but then it all fell apart. If you're Max Crosby, when you're tweeting out,
so actually Thomas said they were both at the cancer event earlier this week. So it must have been since then.
But it could have been brewing.
TMZ could have gotten it wrong.
If the dancing bear made an appearance and then he got worse. I don't know. I don't know. Max Crosby. If you're Max Crosby, Mark, you're sending out tweets of stars. You're alluding to Cowboys. Aren't you a little disappointed that you're coming all the way to Baltimore to play with a team who's underachieved?
Yeah.
Aren't you disappointed?
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. You never wanted them, so it doesn't matter to you. I'm playing.
I had trepidation about it. I said, I don't want to. I told you I'd rather spend the money and have the picks. Well,
my thing is this, okay, and I've been honest with this. Even at the introductory press conference for Christian Parker, they posed a question: "You're a hot commodity. If you should leave next year." Literally, that was the question. If you should leave after one season to be a head coach, is Dallas structure? Is there somebody to take over the defense?
Said yes.
They're already talking about that. So my thing
somebody asked him that question. Okay, I mean, sometimes you get set up.
I'm not saying he's saying it, but if we're already thinking it, and now we're going to draft and develop with a defensive coordinator that may not be here, just go out and get some veterans, please. That's all I'm asking. I love drafting. I love drafting. I'm glad we're going to the draft. We're going to have probably 2 number ones.
Okay.
But
okay. Well, let me ask you.
You need to go
this.
get some damn veterans, Mark.
All right. Let me ask you this one. Let's just think about this for a second. Now,
All right.
there's still the whole Rashawn Gary. I don't know what that situation is.
Anybody has any info, put it in the chat.
Well,
What's up with Rashawn Gary?
Some Cheesehead TV, they did a podcast. They said Rashawn Gary is almost gone. That was 9 hours ago. The Packers announced his time. Okay, so he announced his time had come to an end, and then he deleted the post. So maybe it was premature. Maybe they had second thoughts on it or whatever. But let's suppose Rashawn Gary gets released.
Well, let me read you.
Would you rather have
Rashawn
him
Gary.
or
Well, he has
Jalen
better
Phillips?
stats than Jalen Phillips.
Thank you.
He's been in the league a little longer. He has, in 2019, he had 2 sacks. In 2020, 5. 2021, 9.5. 2022, 6. 2023, 9. 2024, 7.5. 2025, 7.5. Basically, a Jadeveon Clowney. I don't love the player. He's on the decline. He's fine. But he would be cheaper than Jalen Phillips. Brian, Mark, it was the dancing bear. It was Dan. It wasn't. Dan's the dancing bear.
Let's see. I'm just trying to check. Ravens are now Super Bowl favorites with Max Crosby. Kyler
That's
Murray
hysterical.
to the Steelers.
That's hysterical
and
to
Geno
me.
Smith, Tua are out there.
They're trying to sell high right now to Ravens fans to go buy your Super Bowl your ticket now. As far as betting, that shit'll crash real soon. Again, that's not the move to put you over the top, especially in the AFC. If AJ ends up with the Patriots are going back to the Super Bowl. So the Patriots are a young ascending team. But who knows? Who really knows? But Rashawn Gary, again, stay tuned on who gets released between now and free agency.
So Lamar had a cryptic boom, a tweet that was boom mean. Did you hear about this?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it was Rich Eisen talking about it. I hadn't heard about it. Maybe the boom is the $62 million contract that we heard that was possible. And that may be another one of those bullshit posts that somebody just did.
Yeah. I need to get my Twitter back. I was hacked. It's been a while.
Now they're back. Now Hundley got $11 million extension. 2-year extension for
Farm
$11
Boy
million.
says Patriots will come back down to earth. They did have an easy schedule, so we'll see. Okay, the salary impact of player trades in the NFL. Yeah, see,
Okay,
again.
So here's an interesting one. So Lamar Jackson posted, from training day, Denzel with the big smile.
Oh, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, he posted that yesterday. So that might have been the boom that we was talking about. So he knew that he was coming.
Well, that's cool.
So here's the question. If it ends up being, what happens if it ends up being like the Green Bay Packers are this year?
Well, that's what, I don't really want to root against anything, but they're not a Cowboy. They're not going to start on their helmet. I don't care.
Curse of Jerry will go on again.
I hope the Raiders get a top 10 pick next year. What's up, Jacob? How you doing?
Pablo
Yes,
Figueroa
he's
says, is Jerry Jones ill? His hands were shaking. He is 83 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Bobby, what's up, brother?
I'm not wishing anything on him, but it was come Monday. My 86-year-old father-in-law passed away a year ago Monday, and my dad, who was 85 years old, passed away 3 weeks later.
What's up, George? DC for life.
You're not a spring chicken.
Yeah.
Heck, I think my hands shake a little bit too. Yeah.
But I look at teams like the Rams who re-signed Cameron Curl. They just find ways to re-sign all their great players and go out and make unbelievable deals. The Rams is just the organization I would love to be. It's just like depressing. We all thought that Cameron Curl would be out there and available, and they find a way to re-sign him. They again, if Dallas wants to compete, they're going to have to do better than what they've been doing. And the next couple days, everybody, we're going to be here to cover it. But
And so if you've enjoyed this stream, Monday will be like this on steroids because
it'll be on steroids.
A lot of activity.
Yeah, we're going live together again on Monday, everybody. So it'll be fun. It's going to be fun.
Landon Holyfield says Trey Hendrickson will likely sign a deal that gives Cowboys control through 28 if they want it, but also has an easy out after 27. A one-year deal, mostly, if not fully guaranteed, doesn't serve financial favor. One issue is he'll be pushing 34 when that third year rolls around. I think he is still the next best option after Max Crosby.
The Lando show.
But I can see Cowboys opting elsewhere at edge and free agency. So
he
Holly
just
Market
talked
has
out
a
both sides of his
30%
neck.
chance of signing with the Cowboys.
Poly Market has what?
As the Cowboys have 30% odds of signing.
So who's the number one odds?
30%. No, that's the biggest odds.
Okay. What's the Colts on there?
They didn't show anybody else.
Okay. All right. Let me look it up before we get out of here. Who we talking about? Paul? Oh, Trey.
Yeah.
Polymarket, Trey Hendrickson. Here we go. Polymarket's all over the place. Polymarket, 31% Dallas Cowboys. It's up. It's up since you just said it. The Jets are at 30. Who the hell would want to go to the Jets? And the Colts, there's the team at 27%. New England, 26%. The Super Bowl. The Eagles at 26%. Bang, bang, 49ers at 26. The Commandos at 26. So it's wide open.
Mm-hmm.
So Carolina, Arizona, all at 26%. Dallas is it's up 19% as of late. So again, that's all because they didn't get Max Crosby. We would have given up 2 number ones had our number ones been frozen next year. It's going to be interesting. So you got your channel member tomorrow, right?
Got that tomorrow at 5:00. Definitely.
Yeah, maybe I'll do one earlier.
And, if we want to do a pre one sometime tomorrow, let me know. We can. We can jump on. Earlier. But yeah, definitely, because the way things are happening right now. What I think may end up happening is when you start looking at this free agent market. And, with what you guys say about the draft, that there's not a lot of guys that are going to be like instant impact players. Teams may look at this and say, you know what, we're better off holding on to this guy. And you may see a lot of contracts that happen.
I think what you're looking at is there's not those guys that are jumping off that they're going to be like, even though they can miss, we all know they could miss, but there's, as much as you could rate talent coming out, there's not that many guys that are instant, oh my God. But people that think this draft is bad are just wrong. There's a lot of real good talent. It's just all equal. It's what are you looking for? Are you looking for a taller guy? Are you looking for a shorter guy? The one thing I did say before we get out of here was seemed like this is a weak cornerback draft. So I would like to see Dallas address cornerback. Is at least one veteran, don't have to be anything special, but somebody decent that can come in and start. Mm-hmm. I think that would be smart. I mean,
it'd be nice,
Well,
ideally, I would like to see the Cowboys get somebody on each level. You get an edge rusher, you end up getting a linebacker, you end up getting a safety or a cornerback.
Yes,
then you go into the draft,
would be perfect.
And it's the best players available. Whoever
go give me a safety, go give me a linebacker, go give me an edge rusher, and go get me a rotational corner. I'll be happy with that going into the draft. And then after the draft, you know how Dallas likes to sign those low-level guys who they normally do well with, but they do it to rely on rather than to just add to.
Yeah,
that's
usually all we do. We don't get any. We have not signed a guy over $10 million in free agency since Brandon Carr.
All right.
That was 13 years ago.
Sounds good to me. So I think we're gonna get out of here, everybody. Maybe we go with that, Mark. We'll recommence this tomorrow.
I'm definitely good with that.
Let me just check and see if I didn't miss any super chats. I think I got everybody. Yes, everybody's been covered. Thank you. I really enjoy all the support. Thank you. Just please hit the like button on the way out. Feel free to share this too, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Right, Mark? Maybe, possibly,
Definitely.
Most likely.
Definitely, you will see us tomorrow.
All right, everybody. You got any final words?
Final words. Okay, keep your head on a swivel, man, because the shit's going to be coming hard and heavy.
All right. Peace out, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow.
All right, good people. So I need to do something better with the microphone. We're trying some different angles and things here with what we're doing and so on. So we will see you guys tomorrow. We've got our membership live stream at 5. We'll probably do something with Game Time Brian tomorrow as well because it's about to go on. I got to get out of here. Peace out.
I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Please let me handle this.
I've got to get
Calm down now. Get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you want it on the phone. Everything's going to be all right. Please.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
Yourself.